Okay, so in this Power Apps video, we will see how we can use Power Apps data table control, and also we will see how we can add a small search functionality. So basically, we'll put a text box, and the user can enter the some of the text, and then it will filter the records based on multiple columns in that. So first of all, what is a data table control? So like in every language here, data table control we will use to display data in a tabular format, so that in a tabular format you will be able to show your data, and it includes column headers for each field in that control. So let's say I will show you the list also, and we will see how this it will also generate the columns in that. So for each column there will be a particular header will be there, and we can also customize the header, so we will be able to so see that things also. We can change the header text and things like that. Then there is in the data table control, there is a selected property, so which will actually point to the selected row. So on that one, and then data in a data table control is read only. That means you cannot modify over there in that page, but you can you can navigate to other screen or edit screen. You will be able to modify that record also, and a single row is always selected in the data table control. So and while running this app we can also able to change the width of the column. So each column we will be able to change the width, but that will not save. So basically in the runtime only we will be able to see it. Then I will show you how we can customize column width and the heading text, and also we will discuss, or we will see how we can add a hyperlink, so that when user will click on that particular item or the hyperlink, it will navigate to a detail screen where we will be able to see the product details also, or the item details in a different screen. And finally, we will add a search box. So I will show you how we can implement search over there. So there will be we can filter records based on the search criteria. So let me just show you the list first of all. So if you'll go here, this is the list. So this is the mobiles list where I have some of the mobiles, brand, RAM, what is the RAM size and color. So these things are there, and we will create a app for this one where I'll be able to display all these items on that. And then also we will see how we can edit, how we can add the edit functionality over there as well. So I will open a new tab, and we will open powerapps.com. So if you have not logged in, then it will ask you to log in. If you have already logged in, then it will not ask you. So you can see here it is asking me for signing in. So I will just click on sign in, and now we can see here it will open my Power Apps form. So also you can directly navigate to make.powerapps.com, and you will land off with the same screen. So what I'll do here is we will make your own app, you can see here, and we will take a canvas app from blank. So click on that. So once you select it, we will take the tablet format, not the phone format. So and I will give a name for it. So I will say mobile details app, something like that I will give, and then tablet layout, click on create. So now it will actually open a blank app, so there will nothing be over there, and we will keep on adding things, and we will see how it is appearing as well. So you can see here it is still loading our form. So once it will load successfully, we will be able to add data table over there. So just click on skip. Now you can see here this is what is our screen. So screen one you can see here, and this is a blank, so nothing is there. So I will just select over there and then click on insert, and then you can see here data table. So this is the place, or this is the control that you can use. Click on that. So once you click on that, actually it will add a data table over here in my screen. But since there is no data connection are there, or no data source is there, we have to add a data source. And you can see here, select a data source, click on this, add data source, and now we will be able to select the data source here, and I will select the SharePoint. So once you click on SharePoint, you can it will show some of the sites over there, And if you don't know the site, or if it is not appearing here, you can just directly put in the URL and then click on connect. So if you'll see here, this is actually the first site whatever is our list presented over there. So I will select just this one, and now it will display all the lists which are available in this particular site. So you can see here all the lists are here. We will select mobile here. So you can see here, this is the mobile list. Select it and then click on connect in the down. Let me just show you. So now you can see here, here is the connect button. Select the list, click on connect, and once you click on connect, you can see here our data source is ready, and also it will populate the values. You can see here it is populating. Just click on close. So now we can just make it little wider. You can see here like this. So this is how your data table looks like. So if you'll run this, you can see here, just click on this preview app. Once you click on, you will be able to see here, this is how each items are there. You can see, and for each column there is a particular header over there. So for each column there is a header text also available. Let me just click on this, just close. And we can also change the header text for each column. So you can see here, let's say this is the first column is the name, and if you'll see here, name of the title column. So you can see here there's a header text in the right side. So I can have a header text here. So I will say, let's say mobile name, and now you can see here it's got changed. Now it is mobile name. You can see here. Apart from that, also you can change the width. So you can see here, by default it is 200. You can make it to 300. So by default this column will be 300. So once you run this, you will be able to see it here. So this is how you will be able to change these things. But apart from that, also we can change the header text color and the background color, anything. So I will just select the data table. If you want to select it, if make sure that if you select here, it will automatically select the particular region or particular item. So I select the data table here, and if you'll come down, you can see here, this is various colors that you will be able to see. For example, let's say there here it is heading fill. So if I'll select it, I will be able to change something. Let's say I will make this one, and I will now if you'll see here, it will come like this, the background color like this. If you want to change the font or the font heading color, so you can go here. Let's say we will take this one, or let's say this black one. You can see here, now it becomes the black one. And also we can change the font. Suppose I will change it to 15. So the heading font, now it will come with a pixel of 15 pixel. And if you'll run this, you will be able to see the same thing. You can see here the header now looks little more bigger because it is 15 pixel. Now next what we will do is, I will also, let me just run it and show you. So as I was telling, we can change the width. You can see here, I can change the column width like this. Just I can scroll and it will take the color, it will pick the width. So you can see, you can change this width like this, but this will not be saved. So every time, only while running, you can see that. A lot of time what will happen, if there is a text which is not fitting into this width, then this functionality will be very much helpful. Now this is how we can use data table. Now let's see how we can make a hyperlink over there. So to make a hyperlink, what I'll do is, I'll first create a screen. So I will click on new, and we will add a blank screen here. So for this, I will select new screen and then blank screen we will take like this. You can see here, this is the blank screen. You can rename it to detail screen or something like that, but let's see, we'll add like this. And now we will add a form over there. So click on this forms, and you can see here there is a display form and edit form is there. Select display form because we just want to display the item details. So I'll add, you can see here, this is the display form. And next what we will do is we have to now we have to send the item for which we want these items to be populated. So first thing is we will select the data source here, and it is definitely from the mobiles. But we will see how we'll filter, because this will display all, this will not display all the items. This will display only the selected items. And what will be the selected items? The selected item that we will select from the data table. So now go back to the data table. So here what we will do is we will make the first column as hyperlink. So I will select, I will set this is hyperlink, and you can see here now the color changes and it becomes like a hyperlink. So if I'll preview, you can see here now it becomes hyperlink, but nothing will happen because we have not written any logic over there. Now what we will do is once it is hyperlinked, then on select property we have to write the logic here. So the logic is we need to navigate to the screen, or the detail screen which we created. In this case this is our screen 2, but it will take the selected item ID so that we can filter the selected item ID over there. Now I will use the navigate function because navigate is what we are using to navigate to other screen, and in this case it is our screen 2. You can see here this is the screen 2 we selected, and then we will say dot non screen transition dot non, and then what we will do is we will pass a ID. So I will put in curly brackets here. Let's say I will declare the variable selected ID. And what will be the selected ID? The selected ID is the data table, whatever the selected item or the selected ID. So I will say data table. You can see here this is the data table 1 dot selected. The first one you can see here dot ID. So whatever the selected ID, you can see here now we will navigate over there. So I will now close the bracket. So you can see here now this variable will contain whatever the item selected. So this is a variable that we can use in our other screen. So now let's go back to the other screen. I will go to the other screen. You can see here this is my here we have selected the data source as mobiles, but now we will see what is the item that we are going to filter. So I will select here, so item property, go to the item property, and here we need to filter it. So for this we will take the first record and we will filter from our particular data source. So I will say first, and we will say then filter. So we will filter from here, and then what it will filter from our data source. So our data source here is mobiles, and here we will select based on the ID. So I will say ID because this is the column that it will filter. ID equal to whatever the variable we have created, which is nothing but selected ID, and I will close my bracket. So if you'll see here, what we are doing here is we are just filtering, or we are getting the first item from our data source where ID is selected ID. So this is what we have wrote the logic here. Now go back to our data table. So here this is our data table. I will preview the app. You can see here now if I'll click on this particular item, you can see here it is going to the other screen, and you can have any kind of if you want to display some details, item details or something like that, you can add some label control into that, and you will be able to add this. So basically that page you can customize. Now this is how we saw how we can filter it, or how we can navigate, how we can make a column hyperlink, and we can navigate over there. Now we will add the search box that we are discussing. So for this I will just make a little down here, this one, and I will add first a text box. So if you'll click here and you can see text input, so it will add a text box here. You can see this is the text box that it added here. By default text input is there, so let's remove this, but we will go to the property. So it is known as the hint text. So you can see here hint text, and we will say search here, something like that we will add. So once you add this, then what we have to do is um, we can basically filter the record or filter the data table based on the whatever the user enter this. So for this, what we will do is we will go to the items. So now if you'll see here, it is displaying the items from the data source. Whatever is there, we'll modify this. So we will use the search function here. So search, and from where it is going to search from our data source, which is known as mobiles. And then we will say the text. So basically the text box. So here if you'll see, it is text input one dot text one second, text input dot text. And now we will have to define on which columns basically it will go and search the record. So if you'll see here, suppose we can take the name or the title. So if you'll see here, there's a, sorry, not in the size. You can also take size, but let's take the name here. So basically all these things you can see, I will put the comma and then I can take the title or something. So let's say we will say title. So let me just select title from here. I can see here the last one is title. So then we can take the color or something. So if you'll see here now, let us say I will say color. So we can take the color. So whatever the basically whatever the columns you will select, it will search over there from those columns. So now let's say what we will do is we will preview this. You can see here by default everything it is showing, but now suppose I want to see only the items which are in red color. So I will type red. You can see here it is showing me red color ones. So if you'll see here now, why it is showing these two black, because if you'll see here there is readme is there, so that's the reason it is taking red from our title column. So if I'll just let's say I will change it to blue. So you can now see it is just showing only one. So similarly, if I will change whatever the things, if you'll select here, so Vivo something, you can see here it is coming. And if you click on that also, okay, so sometimes when you will just preview it, you can see here it is not working. It is saying no item to display. But if I'll publish this, and you can see here, actually you can go here and publish. So go to file and then you can save it and then you can publish it. So once I published it, you can see here now this is my app which is published. So if we'll click on that, you can see here now it will open our mobile details app. So by default also, if you'll see here, it is going and fetching up on the data. You can have a back button, we have not given, so I will just open once more time. So you can see here now it will open again. And here suppose I will search for Vivo, this is the item. So when I'll click on that, it was not working in the preview mode. Now you will see here, and you can see here it is coming back. So this is how actually we will be able to work with the data or table in Power Apps, and we also saw how we can implement search functionality over there. And this is really very much helpful when you want to display some of the records or from a list or somewhere in your Power Apps form. Then this will be very much helpful. And also we saw how we can use this search box. This is quite interesting to filter records based on multiple columns in our Power Apps forms.